Throughout this semester, we have discussed the history, context, and culture of disabilities, but focused only on the United States. We have seen the inequalities, social stigmas, and daily hardships that surround people with disabilities in a country that is considered to be developed. So, and what about those that are living in undeveloped countries? During my gap year, I spent 3 months living in a rural village in the West African country of Ghana. It was in this time that I was able to see firsthand exactly how disabilities are perceived in this third world country. Or more, it was what I did not see that expressed the truth. It took a few weeks to put my finger on what it was that seemed to be missing, but once I went to Kumasi to visit my friend Megan Liddy, whom I knew from home, the answer was even more shocking than I ever could have imagined. In Ghana, it is very rare to see people with disabilities living in society due to the traditional customs still practiced in many areas of the country. While the global average for people with some form of a disability is estimated to be around 15% of the population, in Ghana, that number is 3%. And even worse, the number of people born with a visible disability is less than 1% of the population. In Ghanaian society, pregnancy and birth are highly regarded as a blessing and are characterized with high expectations. There is no reason a family can give as to why a child is born with a disability, except that the anger of the gods has visited them. Various cultural, social, and religious belief systems have interacted to shape the perceptions of Ghanaians about disability in general, and is reflected in their attitudes and behaviors towards people with disabilities. Superstitious connotations such as curses or punishments for sins committed either by the person with the disability, one of their parents, or one of his or her ancestors. Hence, the focus traditionally has been on alleviating the curses of disabled persons rather than improving their living conditions. The result, therefore, is the marginalization, discrimination, and exclusion of people with disabilities. For children born with a visible disability, this can also mean murder.
So, fokal hate do ta abiele bulon amaki ba so kia ang kariyela ayang bulon ko yillerma that baniyate adishishirula.
Over time, this practice has become a perceived solution to any problems a family might be having at the time of a child's birth, and the child is then force-fed a poisonous liquid made from local roots and herbs by a concoction man.
Malata pola, ma ben, ma me doana, aqua adarner sala, bat wete shinshirkula. By saying lesson she done a year. I am our co.
By blaming the child for a sickness in the family, the father's inability to find work or provide money to support his dependents, or even just plain bad luck, these communities have found an otherworldly explanation for their problems. And it enables the heads of family to disassociate themselves and feel justified in murdering their own offspring. In other areas of the country, instead of using poison, they drown the child as the water is believed to cleanse the family of all past sins that manifested in the disabled child. These killings of supposed spirit children is banned by the Ghanaian constitution, but due to high levels of police corruption, it is still widely practiced around the country's rural areas. While spirit child killings have decreased in more urban areas, these children are still not treated as viable members of society and rarely live beyond 5 years of age, as they are often ostracized, abandoned, and shunned by their communities. In desperation, families of children with disabilities have often left them at orphanages or prayer camps where they are chained up and deprived of their basic necessities. While more families are keeping their children with disabilities, they still face a lot of stigma in their everyday lives. And even though efforts to include spirit children in school are being made, because many need extra assistance, the children end up just sitting in the classroom ignored. Additionally, as physical abuse is still used as a common form of punishment, for those that might have difficulty understanding what to do or are slow in doing it, they are abused even more. It is a societal ostracization that my friend Megan Liddy worked to alleviate. In 2016, she co-founded a nonprofit organization called Family First Ghana, whose mission is to educate, support, and sustain families of children with disabilities, and through that will indirectly influence the community of thought. Family First Ghana has programs that are dedicated to equipping parents with the necessary tools and employment to navigate the everyday, including uniquely designed classes to help parents and guardians navigate the highs and lows of special needs parenting, as well as literacy, nutrition, first aid, personal finance and small business, and skill, training, and apprenticeship classes. They also have programs like inclusive elementary education and development classes, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy for the children. As Megan once said, our hope is that families can be encouraged, while finding a safe space, to process the highs and lows of parenting a child with special needs. We believe that one of the best ways to foundationally change the beliefs and stigmas surrounding disability is through personal relationships. Family First is committed to fostering relationships with those who directly impact the way society functions. It is our hope that by putting together roundtable discussions and starting the conversations between education leaders, tribal leaders, medical professionals, and religious leaders, we can impact the way our community views and treats children with special needs.